Remember when black folks were literally educating other race about proximity to whiteness can never make you white, right? Remember when white folks will always literally try their possible best to put out something here on the platform just because they want people to be aware that this path you are going to is actually going to be a rough patch, right? Remember during those times, a lot of people ignored black people. A lot of people are now waking up to more realities. I have these Asian people dropping it as hot as it is. Now they have now realized that if only they listen to black people, if only they never made themselves getting too familiar with honoring, idolizing white folks, the stage they are now, they wouldn't have been. But I love it. I love to see when people are actually making it look like my community can never say anything reasonable. And now they're now waking up into the realization. I want you to watch what these men and women actually said about white supremacy, white privilege, everything relating to white. And let me know your honest opinion, because when I see things like this, I can't wait but bring it down to my people. These people really dropped a message that honestly, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. For disclaimers, this is just for educational purpose, not to come here ruffle on anyone's shoulder and make anyone feel uncomfortable. But with that being said, let's dive right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch the far for moments.
I just wanted to come on here and say I'm sorry. I voted for him, and I thought he was going to make things better for folks like us.
On white people. Oh, you're not gonna like this. World War One, white people. World War Two, white people. The Vietnam War, white people. Slavery, white people. Systemic racism, white people. Racism in general, white people. Thousands of years of Asian history being wiped off this planet, white people. Africa decentralized for decades. South America decentralized for decades. Middle East decentralized for decades, white people. Capitalism, white people. Fascism in America, white people. Oh, look at that, you're Christian. Bet. Christianity being used to justify slavery? White people. Christianity being used to justify massacring Native Americans? White people. There's a fake Christian that sold Bibles with his own names on it sitting in the White House right now that was built and maintained by slaves. This motherfucker's white. Who led Germany during the 1930s? A white Christian. Which group of people colonized Africa? White Christians. Klan members. White Christians. St. Peter's Cross being misunderstood as a symbol of Satanism. White people. Border problems. White people. White people. The metal community being full of racist, ignorant bitches. White people. Speaking of that, Pantera. White people. The current dog shit state of the movie industry. White people and capitalism. The current dog shit state of the music industry. White people and capitalism. Specifically shit like Spotify. The current dog shit state of the gaming industry. White people and capitalism. Mount Rushmore. White people. This is some colonizer shit. Give native people their sacred land back. Dingoes. White people. The extinction of the dodo bird. White people. Fucking cave diving. White people. Last but not least, the useless existence of you and your mother. White people. That was 2 minutes of speed reading, and I'm barely on page 1 of the cracker book. Why are we being racist? Racist towards who? Old Man Coyote? You can't treat white people differently. That's racism. That's not how that works, stupid. I would love to break this to you, so here we go. It is impossible for a person of color to be racist towards one another or to a white person. Racism is something exclusive to white people. Only white people can be racist. The word you're looking for is prejudice. Can a person of color be prejudiced towards a white person? Yes. Can a person of color be prejudiced towards another person of color? Yes. A lot of Asians are prejudiced towards black people because of xenophobia, because of colorism, and surprise, surprise, because of white supremacist propaganda. Prejudice, however, is completely different from racism. Racism is systemic. Racism is tied with colonization. Racism is tied with slavery. Racism is tied together with generations upon generations upon generations of classism and supremacy that only benefits white people. Why do you think it was harder for Muhammad Ali to change his name than Bruce Jenner to change his gender. Take the colonizer history you've learned and throw it in the trash. Relearn the real history of the people to fully comprehend the definition of racism. With all that being said, I want to make something really fucking crystal clear for you. When you see me or any other person of color treat white people differently or say shit like white people can't be trusted, that is not prejudice, nor it is racism. Bitch, that's called being careful. Only crackers would believe that other unrelated egregious stuff happening around the world would justify or minimize their own horrific history or actions. I don't give a fuck that slavery was also happening in Asia. It doesn't change the fact that your great-great-great-grandpa owned slaves. America was built on the destruction of Native Americans, the blood, sweat, tears, and literal flesh of African Americans. Now, after all of that, you're telling me that you not only have the audacity to call African Americans lazy, ignore Native Americans, but you're also trying to minimize what happened in those history books. From the bottom of my cold, dead heart, you crackers deserve the days you deserve. You deserve to live long lives so that you can see minorities prosper. And most importantly, you deserve those chair shots. White people ended slavery has got to be the dumbest shit crackers have ever said to me. First of all, not true, because what the fuck do you think the slaves were doing during the Civil War? Chill out at home? Well, you know, some of them did, but regardless, the point still stands. Second of all, even if this is true, so what, Timmy? You unfucked a situation that was originally fucked up by you for a very long time. That means it took a while for y'all to understand that this is fucked up. And even then, the situation is still astronomically fucked. Timmy, do you think that after slavery, everything was sunshine and rainbows? How is any of this deserving praise or acknowledgement? 10 years after the Civil War, the wealth gap between a white person and a black person is 23-1. And not to mention, lynchings. How the fuck does any of this put a smile on my face? Y'all were so mad you couldn't own people anymore. You created the Klan. Don't type in my comment section, the Klan was created by the Democrats. This is some convenient shit only the whites would say. If the originality of something determines what it is, then all crackers go back to Europe. Every white person should be forced to look at the picture of Emmett Till before he was buried. And then you will finally understand that this doesn't mean jack shit to me. And especially, it doesn't mean jack shit to my scrumptious African Americans. Don't be mad at black people in TV shows and movies, and then go to church every Sunday to pray to white Jesus. I've seen a lot of Twitter fingers complaining about this, and this. But then it's fucking crickets when it comes to this. Don't sit there and pretend like you guys are bitching and moaning about these media because they are historically incorrect, or as if they are not staying true to the original work. You guys don't give a fuck about that. All of this yapping, it's because you're racist. Take the hood off, Timothy. We all know it's you. You complain about this because it fits your racist agenda, but not this because it doesn't fit your racist agenda. You guys were yapping constantly about how Ariel cannot be black. Where's all this yapping when Moses is white? Apparently, according to crackers, the Bible has an extra commandment. Thou shalt bullshit to further on thy racist agenda. All these Klan members gathering around saying how this is historically inaccurate. Where were y'all when this movie was released? This movie is both scientifically and historically inaccurate. By the way, if you want to criticize this choice of casting, you should say she cannot act. I'm sorry, girl, but you can't. That movie was so bad in so many ways. Here's the icing on the Klan cake. You guys never talk about how characters have to be white because it would destroy your talking point. Batman has to be white because one of the biggest part of his character is recognizing his own white privilege and using it to help people and fight crime. Same thing as Iron Man. Big Daddy from Princess and the Frog has to be white. As a matter of fact, the only incorrect thing about this guy is that he's not racist. Nathan from The Last Samurai has to be white. Only a white person would obsess over Japan like this. So with all that being said, and in conclusion, crackers, all this complaining about black people in media, bro, sounds about white.
White people didn't invent slavery. In fact, they were the first to end it. Yet somehow, saying this is controversial.
There's a lot of ways for me to explain why this narrative is a big pile of horseshit. Today, let's go with the most direct one. Close to the start of the Civil War, slave rebellions rose up all around America and the world. We have the 1811 German Coast Uprising, Nat Turner's Uprising, the Haitian Revolution. Slavery wasn't that profitable anymore, so they ended it on paper and traded one form of evil for another. Black people fought and freed themselves, while the whites wasted their fortune on pointless wars.
Slavery is evil, practiced by everyone to everyone.
The map you showed in your video was founded on fucking Reddit, and it's also fucking wrong. There's missing parts everywhere, including America, Congo, and Vietnam. And slavery didn't end in Russia in 1723. It technically ended in 1902. I don't know how much research you did, but do more of it.
I went to Ghana. I stood in a slave dungeon where people who looked like me sold people who looked like me to white people.
I cannot fucking believe those words came out of your mouth. Let's take a look at these 5 Native American tribes. For the longest time, they live with white people. They developed economic ties, they own slaves, they signed treaties, they even wear European clothes. Do you know why they did this? Because all the other tribes that didn't were nearly fucking wiped out. The same thing happened to African people, dumbass. It especially happened to the people in Ghana, the place you fucking went to.
Europeans did take slavery to another scale, but it's not because they were more evil. It's because they had the technology to commit evil on an industrial scale.
Let me understand your logic. Better technology equals slavery. Don't multiply yourself. By the way, the people with less technology were undefeated for 30 years.
Which major power stopped slavery first? The British.
For fucking who, when, and where exactly? Immediately after slavery ended on paper, European countries colonized Africa. It was literally called the Scramble for Africa because they were panicking that slavery ended. From 1904 till 1945, the British owned 25% of the world, and they were stealing and taking every resources and wealth they can from these colonies. The rest of the video is just some all lives matter shit that I'm not gonna entertain, but one thing before I leave. I'm not making this video to debunk this guy or to make the whites mad. I consider these people lost causes. I'm making this video for the younger generation to show you guys what the whites is really about. That this country was built with blood and bones. Because I know they're not teaching this shit in school.
Black people and Asian people are meant for each other. I know H Mart Gate is over, but let me piggyback off this subject and present to you Black and Asian solidarity. If you guys don't know, we've always been there for each other since the beginning. Let's take a trip through history to really understand that. Black people were dying in the Vietnam War more than white people per capita. But did you guys hate us? No! As a matter of fact, y'all understood that that was the white man's war. Here's black people protesting against the Vietnam War. This is Yuri Kochiyama, an Asian woman activist, and she was really good friend with Malcolm X. See, we've always been there for each other. Black people, during the H-Mart thing, you guys were not in our business because your problem, our problem. Our problems, your problems. We have always shared problems. Let me prove it. Y'all got Uncle Toms, we got Uncle Tams. They destroy villages in Africa, also bomb the shit out of Asia. Y'all deal with the Klan, we deal with the Klan. Here's Martin Luther King and Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Buddhist. They were probably talking about how to deal with the Klan in this picture. Look at this. This is the wealth inequality in America. Your problems, our problems. You guys know what else we have in common? We're diabolical builders. The Chinese people built the Great Wall of China, a proper wall. The people of Mali built Timbuktu, a proper city. Just like the people of Southeast Asia, black people of America have rebuilt their identity, community, and culture brick by brick. They keep destroying black towns, but you guys give up and stop rebuilding? Fuck! No! It used to be that you can't have shit in Detroit. Detroit is kinda okay now. Another reason for black and Asian solidarity is rice. That's right, rice gang. Do not let the crackers propaganda deceive you. Black people love rice as much as Asian people. Here's African rice, here's Asian rice. Y'all remember when I said you got Uncle Toms and we got Uncle Tams? Throw both of these traitorous motherfuckers in Chinese prison and make them work on rice fields. If they want to be for the whites, treat them as such. With all that being said, in the spirit of black and Asian solidarity, I propose that the Asian community make our own version of the Black Panthers. We're gonna call it the Flying Phoenix.
My God, people, you guys are really dumb. Seriously, the whole world know you guys are dumb. Only you guys don't know about it. I'm Chinese. I'm just very straightforward. You guys are so stupid. If the lies too complicated, you guys cannot even understand. So politicians have to make the most obvious, most ridiculous lies, and you guys like, oh, I get it. That makes sense.
But I think that Asian people and black people are meant to be friends. We have so many cultural similarities that make it easy to relate to each other. Both cultures got family values, tough ass food, strict ass parents. Oh, and don't get me started on family functions. My homeboys be talking about black people get turned at the family function. Hey, you haven't seen the Asian family functions though. I'm talking about Viet, Filipino, Kazakh. We go crazy. Hear me out. Every Jackie Chan needs his Chris Tucker. On some real shit, me and my black friends, we just click. Like if I'm playing R&B in the car, they're gonna be like, yo, pass me the aux. I fuck with anime, they gon' watch it with me. Bro, now that I think of it, there's so many examples of this type of friendship online. Bro, why do you think Kai Cenat and Ray got along so well? K-pop music literally takes inspiration from African-American artists. There's way too many similarities. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys think, and also let me know what other race do.
To the Asians that are still bending over backwards for white acceptance, what has it gotten you? You guys got rid of affirmative action, and now we are not getting into top universities at the same rate that we used to, but when affirmative action was still a thing. Our elders were getting beat up in the streets during COVID. Did you having a white husband stop that from happening to your mom? Some of y'all made that shitty fusion cuisine and put strawberry in matcha, and now the white people really like it. And our food costs way too much. There's a matcha shortage. The colonizers are looking at ube now. They're trying to bulldoze Chinatowns across the nation. And your white husband is still gonna cheat on you when you have a baby and he finds a younger Asian woman. Your kid still doesn't have blue eyes. Your kid still has brown hair. What has it gotten you? What has this house servant mentality gotten you, gotten your family, gotten your community? I get that you feel better than other Asian women. I get that you feel like you're prettier, smarter, more accepted than Asian women like me who don't choose to do those things. But you're not even getting paid for waiting around in H Mart waiting to help a white person find Asian groceries. Please move out of the way. I'm trying to get my chicken feet here. Oh yeah. And what has voting for Trump personally done for you?
So, my ancestors were asked by white men to come to this country, which they had stolen and forced black people to build, because they were hoping that my ancestors would be the new cheap and disposable labor to undercut the recently freed black people that lazy white men didn't want to pay. And when my ancestors wouldn't do that, they were lynched and massacred, their towns were destroyed, they were blown up while building the railroads, and ultimately they were excluded from society in the country for nearly 60 years. Then when the United States asked us to come back in the 1960s because they wanted to put us in the way of black people again, and the United States needed to rehabilitate its reputation with Asian countries that were gaining in economic and political power, we had civil rights because of black people.
Asian Americans, because why are we so smart but so silent? What's with the silence? I suspect that if we opened our mouths, we would side with black people and other brown people as the real American heroes. Yeah, we're brown, not white. But this would disrupt the white supremacy brainwash we're caught in. And deep down, we hate ourselves for siding with whiteness. We know they're wrong. Our silence is the sound of us hating ourselves. But that's the Squid Game trap that they set for us, an Asian American matrix that messes with our reality. And it's all based on hating black people. You know, the ones we're all secretly trying to copy, even the white peoples. White supremacy isn't smart, but it's tricky like that. Do you like being tricked? I don't know any Asians who put up with that. We gotta decolonize ourselves and find Asian joy.
Stop using black people as a gotcha against Asians. Whenever Asians talk about hate crimes or fetishization, which are acts of blatant white supremacy, someone's always like, oh, but it was black people who committed the most crimes against Asians. Actually, no, statistically, you're just wrong. It was a white person who walked into the Atlanta spa with a pew-pew and murdered 8 people, including 6 Asian women, citing that they were temptations for his sexual fantasies. Sounds about white to me. And for a second, let's just consider that black people were committing as many crimes per capita as white people were against Asian people. That doesn't make them any worse than the white people committing the crimes. So your whataboutism, I'm just gonna throw it back in your face because you're trying to distract from the real issue. And it's not just white people who are doing this. It's people in our own community, Asian people, who are perpetuating this anti-black white supremacist myth. Or if we talk about cultural appropriation, people are like, oh, but Wu-Tang Clan. But Megan Thee Stallion cosplayed as an anime character. I don't give a fuck about Megan. I saw that costume. It made me feel loved. And her political activism has always been on the right side and inclusive of everyone. And if they want to talk about like historical clashes between black people and Asian people, literally Asian people were given not very much land to live on in all these cities, and they always put us right next to the black people as like a buffer to separate the black neighborhoods with the Asian neighborhoods and the white neighborhoods. Like we were just that great wall in between the white people and the black people. All of my talking points where I'm defending our culture and our people from these people, I'm not gonna lie, I learned them mostly from listening to black people, from being in community with black people, from having black people in my life. Talking to them and reading their literature has helped give voice to a lot of these things that I've been feeling my entire life that took me out of this like fiction of being their model minority. And now I really see it, because if I had stayed that model minority, then I'd be causing a lot less trouble for white people. And they're not the majority in America anymore, they're only the plurality. And they know that the second that all of us non-white folks banded together, they would lose everything they've ever had.
Anyways, welcome back, guys. So I made my own research for me to know as why are Asians talking like this? Are they really seeing things from the aspect I'm seeing things? And I got some things here that will actually interest you people to know. Okay, I'll just go ahead. When some Asians Americans said white folks destroy America, they usually not talk about every white person. They are pointing to the system of power that were historically built and mostly controlled by white elites, and the damages those systems cause and still cause and are still causing. Here is a typical meaning down plainly. One, colonization and genocide set the foundation. Okay, Americans was built through the genocide and replacement of Native Americans, slavery of black people. These weren't accidents. They were state sanctioned policies that create wealth for a small group while brutalizing others. Many other trace today inequality back to the foundation. Two, slavery, segregation, mass incarceration. Even after slavery ended, new system replaced it. Jim Crow law, redlinings, discrimination, discriminatory policy and sentencing. Critics argued that the same power structures just change form, still benefiting the same group of the top while harming black and brown community. The third one is capitalism that exploits instead of protection. Some Asian American, especially immigration and activists, criticized corporate greed, low wages, lack of health care, and what crushing student debt. This urged that a profit over people system designed by and for the elite has hollowed out the middle class and makes life harder for everyone. War and foreign policy. US war in Asia, Vietnam, Korean, Iraq, Afghanistan killed millions and destabilized religions. Asian Americans often feel their home countries were used as a battlefield. The immigrants from those regions are blamed or stereotyped. So resentment can be about imperialism, not race. Modern minority marriage hurt Asians too. White political system labeled Asians as the modern minority to one, downplayed racism, two, divide Asians from black Americans. Many Asian Americans now reject that and say it silenced their own struggles, hate, crimes, exclusion, immigration ban, etc. Important matters. This is a systemic critique, not a biological one. Many white Americans also fight against the system. Blaming all white American in is inaccurate and unfair, but ignoring history is also dishonest. Why these statements sound harsh? Plain compressed language. People who feel unheard often speak in blunt emotion, in less about hatred and more about rage as historical injustice that never got repaired. The truth of the whole matter is the white folks have really done a lot of damage. White folks has really done a lot of damage to the system. That is just the truth. That is just the whole truth. They have done a lot of things that at the end of the day, when you look at it, but you know the one that why I really do not feel for most of this race is because they never value Black Americans. They never take their time to listen to what Black people are saying. They never ask questions. They just went ahead, ignored every single thing that Black people actually put out efforts to build, and then went ahead to I will vote. Now every one of them is regretting. Every one of them is not seeing where the problem is coming from. Every one of them is now understanding the fact that Black people has literally been saying this for centuries. Black people has literally do not have any issue with it. You can see from the clips that I actually roll out for you guys, and you are telling me not to be proud of Black Americans. You are really telling me that I should not be proud of Black Americans. No, I will definitely be proud of them. I will. I will. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. Thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. Mind you, this is just for educational purposes only. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping commentaries, joining my membership, dropping super thanks. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely the best. Disclaimers, educational purposes only. See you guys in my next one. Mwah.